So yeah, good evening. I was so determined to stay awake and do this program this evening. I have been expectantly waiting for that national address, okay? That national address as the president was opening parliament. Now, after watching that presentation, that address, in my mind, I have no doubt that President Hakainde Hichilema has no solution for Zambia. He has no solution for Zambia, and the things will just get worse. Things will just get worse. The best that he can do at this point in time is to resign. This is very much possible. It is provided for in the constitution. The president can resign. Let him resign together with Bwana Lumango, because we don't want a situation where he resigns and Bwana Lumango Bashana. He should go with Bwana Lumango, and what we need is an early election. We need an early election in Zambia like yesterday. We need an early election like yesterday. Hakainde Hichilema has no hope for Zambia. He has no hope for Zambia. I watched that address and I saw no hope whatsoever. There is no hope, and things will just be getting worse every day. Things will just be getting worse. No. Come on. Come on. No. People, it's not about what? It's not about, no, you don't like Hakainde Hichilema. No, because you're in exile, you want to come back to Zambia. Whatever you can say, you can apportion whatever fault on me. I don't mind. You can apportion whatever fault. You can call me anything. I don't mind. But President Hakainde Hichilema does not have hope. And him staying in power even up to 2026, it will just spell trouble for the Zambian people. It will just spell more suffering for the Zambian people. It will just spell more suffering for the young people. It will just spell more of our young people becoming junkies and being bundled into prisons for having done nothing. Because our youths are being neglected, and that's how they are ending up in the streets. That's how they are ending up as junkies. And at the end of the day, you blame them. Like, these people were born like that. These people were born criminals. These people were born to be smoking whatever they smoke. And yet it is not that. It is society that has neglected these children. And as long as Hakainde Hichilema is still in power, we will see more of those young people going into the streets. As long as Hakainde Hichilema is still in power, we will continue seeing more of our young girls going into the streets for them to survive. As long as Hakainde Hichilema continue being in power, we will continue seeing criminality going higher. We will see more criminals in our streets because of President Hakainde Hichilema. I can assure you that. Because according to parliament calendar, that marks the new year. Okay, today's opening of parliament. Today opening of parliament was like we are starting a new year. Okay, because now next they will present a budget. Okay, which budget now will run for 2025. Will run for 2025. So today, what we expected from President Hakainde Hichilema is giving a policy direction for next year. This is how 2025 will be. Now, to do this, you need to make people appreciate where you are coming from. You need to make people appreciate where you are coming from. Governance is continuous. It's continuous. This is where we were. Now we are going to move in this direction. And at the end of the day, you should be able to go back and say, well, what we did here was good. Okay, now we are going to do this. So today we are supposed to get a policy direction. And that policy direction, if I'm saying policy direction, it might sound a little bit ambiguous to some of you. But basically, it is hope that the president gives to his people to say, Mwevantu, it is a new manifesto for the year. Mwevantu, this is now what we are going to do. This is what we have achieved, and this is now what we are going to do. And a good presentation, a good policy direction will excite people. A good policy direction will excite the economy. A good policy direction will excite foreign investment. A good policy direction will even affect your exchange rate. I can assure you, if you give a good policy direction, you will actually see, your kwacha appreciating. How does that happen? How that happens is because investment, AMA dollars, they are channeled to your side. We need to go to Zambia now. We need to go and invest in Zambia. When people express anxiety or interest, or excitement, not anxiety, excitement in your country, money is channeled that way. And already that is what makes the country appreciate. That is what makes your currency to appreciate. But that presentation gives no direction, and I can assure you it has not moved anyone. Really, a person who is very critical. Yes, the praise singers who are very basic, because praise singers, they are the most ignorant people that we have in our country. And that's why they get manipulated, because they are very ignorant. They don't do a little bit of research. They accept things like dogmas where you don't have to question. So that is the problem. But if you are a person that reasons a little bit, that goes a little bit more than what somebody says, you will realize that President Hakainde Hichilema was just blowing hot air. Nothing. There is nothing tangible that came out of that speech of his. There is nothing tangible that came out of that speech. Look, he started by talking about the debt restructuring. Now, this debt restructuring, if you follow where we are coming from, the debt restructuring was a big issue. People were on the street celebrating the debt restructuring. And some of us, we said, okay, you have achieved the debt restructuring. Will that bring down the cost of millennium? And the praise singers were responding in whichever way they were responding, with arrogance. But that debt restructuring, what has it achieved? Because I'm talking about continuous, this is the progress. We achieved the debt restructuring. President Hakainde Hichilema, he was saying, now we have started servicing debt. That is a lie. That is a lie, because we know that the debt has been postponed, has been rescheduled. The debt has been rescheduled. Yes, there are other debts that we are obliged to pay, the simple loans and whatever. But that has been happening. That has been happening. We have never stopped paying debt, because even when we had that moratorium, when that grace period to say we don't have to, it is ama debt which we borrowed like by Euro bond, shana, but these small debts of the services that we consume, we pay for that. And Hakainde Hichilema is talking about that. He's not talking about the debt that we know, the one that he was talking about to say debt restructuring, because if you are saying that we have started paying, then what is your debt restructuring? It's very simple. If you are saying, now, because he was boasting, we have started paying external debt. Okay, you have started paying external debt. Then what is the debt restructuring? Because you have negotiated that you will start paying later. That is what you have done. So you can't talk about in Congole, Shama contractors, in Congole, of some people that you did something. You cannot say we have started paying a debt. That is misleading, because those debt, servicing of debt, that arises as the country runs. That debt we pay. And even with Edgar Lungu, even in 2021, we were paying. So what is he talking about? There is nothing positive there. Bottom line is that we had this debt restructuring, which was so celebrated. The question that I'm asking you today, you Zambians, what have you benefited out of that debt restructuring? What have you benefited? What have you benefited out of that debt restructuring? What have you benefited? Tell me, show me the benefit of that debt restructuring. And in today's presentation, really, it was not so pronounced. It was not so pronounced. And why it was not pronounced? Because it's nothing. It's nothing. He should have spoken about, we have received debt restructuring, we achieved. And IMF has released the money. Did you hear that? Because they were talking about, no, debt restructuring, then IMF is going to give us money. Did that story come up in this address? Did it come up in this address? Because the president, that was their main agenda. That was their main agenda. Why has it been lost in this address? Why? Why didn't it come up? Why didn't it come up? Where are we in terms of our talks with IMF? Where are we? What benefits are we bringing? What benefits are we bringing with that issue? What benefits? Praise singer, praise singer, praise singer, tell me, open your eyes, open your eyes, open your mind. This man is lost. He's lost. From there, we have to talk about pertinent issues. That address was supposed to give the Zambian people hope of where we are going, because it tells us where the government is going to spend the money. Where the government is going to spend the money. First of all, before you even talk about spending, you have to talk about where you are going to collect the money. Where you are going to collect the money and where you are going to use the money. That is what that address is supposed to be. The details, of course, comes in the presentation of the finance minister. But from the president point of view, you get the policy direction. Policy direction in terms of where we intend to get the money and where we intend to spend the money. That is what you're supposed to get from the president. Policy direction. Policy direction. So, Bane, we have got hope that, in the mining sector, we are going to produce 1.2 million tons. And this 1.2 million tons, it's coming about because when we came in, we were producing 800 metric tons of copper. But we put up some policies. Some of these policies, we allowed the mines not to pay taxes. And so far, so that they can bring in machinery. And so far, we are talking about machinery worth so much which has come into the country. And this machinery which has come into the country, or this capacity which has built capacity, and this capacity will now produce 1.2 million. When we came in 2021, we were producing 800 metric tons. But we put up a policy, which policy was to say mines should not be paying taxes, okay? So that they can bring in machinery. Because this is what they were telling us. This is what they were telling us. So now that policy has made the mining sector to bring in so much machinery. And this machinery has built the capacity of this mine and that mine and that mine and that mine and that mine. As a result of that, total of that, we are going to be producing so much copper every year. With that copper that we are going to be producing so much, we are going to have such taxes incentives. And at the end of the day, we should be able to make money for us to put into roads, for example. But Hakainde Hichilema, the statement is there. Go back and see which are income lines that President Hakainde Hichilema has created. Which income lines are we going to talk about? Which income lines are we talking about? Which Hakainde Hichilema with his policies they have created? Which ones? Which ones? Ngolera ndapali budget ufile fesu walando kwenda na mashirifu ma walande ndala mashikafu muko, okay, ndala mashikafu muko eronga shafu muko tukashitwala uko no mbalelo nende mipusha imwe ba presinga that toko ba Hakainde Hichilema basokwele vala oko basokwele ichipawa ukindala masharafu muko. And this is where even that IMF would have come in. This is why IMF would have come in. Nothing. So, with that, okay, indalama shikafu moko. Noko tukashitola nyoko. Kujamule tuwale indalama. You now talk about your pressing needs. You talk about pressing needs. Money will come this way. What are our problems? Our problems, these are the problems. Problem number one that we have. It is not electricity. It is just food. Food. Before you even talk about electricity, yes, electricity is energy. It's food. We have a crisis in Zambia. The crisis that we have is that commodity prices are too high. That is a crisis. Of a bag of mealie meal at 400. It is beyond many Zambians reach. A bag of mealie meal at 400 is beyond the common Zambian buying power. It is beyond. There are very few people that can afford to put 100 kwacha 4 to buy mealie meal. And for me, that is a crisis. That is a crisis. I'm telling you, if you go compound, I don't think you will find so many people who are able to afford a bag of mealie meal. A 25 kg bag of mealie meal, for that matter, 25 kg. And households, usually, they don't consume 125 kg per month. On average, we're talking about 50 kg, which is 2 bags of mealie meal. That 2 bags of mealie meal translates to 800 kwacha. How many of our people in the compounds, because the majority Zambians are poor, about 52% are poor. So this huge population cannot afford to buy a bag of mealie meal at 400 kwacha. They can't afford. That is a crisis. That is a crisis, and a good leader would be worried. A good leader cannot come to parliament and say, no one will go hungry. How? How? How can you come? I mean, how can a normal person under these circumstances say, no Zambian will go hungry? Because as you are talking, many people out there are hungry. As we are talking right now, many people are going to bed without eating. As we are talking, many people tomorrow will have nothing to do. As we are talking, many people are worried. Maybe as we are talking, many people are contemplating taking their own lives because of the debt that they have. As we are talking, there are parents who have failed to take their children to school. So the president speaks like he doesn't live in Zambia. How can you say no one will go hungry? For who? That statement was for who? That statement was for who? I don't think it was for Zambians. Because so many Zambians are hungry right now. So, the issue of commodity prices is a big issue. It's a big issue. Other countries, like even here, the government is giving vouchers. Here, they're giving vouchers to every household. They are giving vouchers. They are giving vouchers for them to buy food. Yes, this is, I've been saying it before, that this crisis of high commodity prices is global. But as it is global, countries are taking initiatives. Like some of them, Ayama vouchers in Delanda, they're doing that. In Zambia, what are we doing? I'm not talking about social cash transfer. Don't bring in social cash transfer. Social cash transfer is for the vulnerable. Me, I'm talking about normal average families. Banaba shile kwanisha, bana bomba batitafikapo. Bana bomba, bana cherira ba mukubomba. Social cash transfer yaba kote. Na bana kote tiba bombe. A social cash transfer. But we are talking about normal life, normal family life. Abantu abekarafye, bali kwatakanda, nabana, whatever. Those are the people. How are you sustaining them? And those are the majority. How are you sustaining them? Those are the people who are failing to afford a bag of mealie meal. So, how are you cushioning the high commodity prices? That is my issue. Praise Singer, wake up. Your president is not doing it. because he didn't give us hope in there. I followed it and I listened good. He has not given us hope in terms of how commodity prices will be reduced. He hasn't. He hasn't. No hope whatsoever. No hope. He says no one will go hungry. And yet we had people that died as a result of, the maize that they brought in. Because President Hakainde Hichilema today, he would have taken that opportunity to talk about, the afroxin that they brought in the country. He had that opportunity. Because he would have continued with his lies accusing the drought. He would have said, okay, the drought and whatever. But we brought in maize so much, and the part of this maize was found to be with the afroxin, and people died and dogs died. Please, Mwebena Zambia, bear with us. But he didn't mention anything. And look, that speech was not presidential. That speech was not presidential. Why was it not presidential? When you're talking about a speech being presidential, the speech must be more or less, if I could say, scientific. It must be evidential. It must be evidential. It must be experimental. Why? What do I mean? If you are talking about, we had drought. If you are talking about we have drought, you cannot just say drought time immemorial, as our memory can remember. Meaning, basically, it's we can't remember when we had such drought. But this thing has been discussed without really giving us the figures. Without really giving us the figures, because rainfall is measured. Rainfall is measured. Rainfall is measured. So we usually talk about drought in memorial. How much rainfall did we receive? And can we compare it? Can we compare it to where we are coming from? Can we compare it where we're coming from? You cannot just keep on saying, no, drought, like we have never had in memorial, time in memorial. How much rain did we receive? Which areas were badly affected by drought? Because truth be told, not all part of the country was hit with drought. Some countries had good rainfall, for goodness sake. So we cannot just be putting a blank statement, hey, drought. No, substantiate what you're talking about. Substantiate what you're talking about. Okay, we received, like he did, he said, we got about 1.5 metric tons of maize when we were expecting 4.5 metric tons. I don't know when Zambia ever got 4.5 metric tons. I don't know. I don't know where he was coming from. I don't know where he was coming from to have that 4.5 metric tons. I don't know. But nonetheless, at least he gave us a figure. Now, with that figure, he couldn't tell us how much did they have in stock. Okay? How much did they have in stock? The reserves, because that's why we have the reserves. The reserves are there such that if you don't have enough rain, or you don't have enough yield, you fall on the reserves. But there is no talk of that. Why? Because they sold the maize. And they are not putting figures to these things. They just make blank statements. Come on. Blanket statements. You don't do that. I'm not educated, but I know that quantification is very important when you are making such a presentation. So, anyway, at the end of the day, Zambians, we have got a big crisis in terms of commodity prices. Ubunga na vudula, sugar na idula, cooking oil na idula, and I'm talking about just the basics. These things are very high. What is President Hakainde Hichilema doing? Should we expect prices to go down? Do we expect that next year maybe prices come with a copanchi, or we expect them to go higher? But President, tell me, what are we expecting? Do we expect prices, things to go down? If they're going to go down, how? What has the government done in that area? Because it's a big issue. In Salaka Pondo, we need to eat. A nation must be fed. A good leader, the first thing that he thinks of is to make sure that people have food. When people don't have food, they become vulnerable even to ailments. They become susceptible to all sorts of diseases. Death rates goes high. People keep on dying. People will be dying. So in Saraya, they were very important. People, they won't go to school. Nangulande pali free education. Children will not go to school. They will not go to school because tamadile. So oku ya pali were very important to muntu fesa afuira lolesha pakulia kwa bantu. Ero lekeni miewe imwe Zambia tayashu pokuteka. Zambia tayashu pokuteka. Echo Zambia tayashu piro kuteka yakwe bati. Chakwe bati. Avena Zambia tatulie fintu ifi apusana. Avena Zambia tulie obunga. Chapo. Ubungo wotu wachindika. Abantu balali obunga balali ubwadi na soti. Mu Zambia. Abantu balali ubwadi na soti. Nga pali ubunga at least. So, upon that Zambia tayashu pokuteka. Because all you need to do is to make sure that you flood the market with millimil. Once there is millimil in Zambia, we are okay. We are okay. At least that is a good start. But Hakainde Hichilema has messed up where it matters most. This is the failure, and that's why I'm saying he should resign. Because that is a huge irresponsibility on a president to fail to secure, food for the Zambian people. And when you had this problem, you even go and bring in, if you are poisonous, and you don't even say anything about it. What kind of a leader are you? What kind of a leader are you? Because you're supposed to be concerned and apologize to the Zambian people. So, Toaf Makoko, high cost of living. Let's talk about energy. Let's talk about energy. Before you even talk about electricity, we have got fuel. Fuel is very expensive. And at the moment, we have been talking about fuel. And this revision of prices every month, it is not sustainable. It has caused a lot of problems on the market. What are we going to see? Are we going to see a continuous review of prices every year, every month? That was not there in the speech of the president. It was not there. I'm telling you, we still consume a lot of fuel in Zambia. Don't just think about transport. We have got a lot of industries and farmers who use fuel. Yarama tractors. Pakwat vali mama hectares, ama hectares. They need fuel. What is the president saying about that? What are the farmers going to be excited? Because the president is a cattle rancher. He only talks about dips. Agriculture, dips, no. Fuel in that area is very important. A lot of our big farmers who feed our country, they need that fuel. What is the policy on that? What is the policy? Then we can come to your electricity. Electricity, there is no hope. President Hakainde Hichilema didn't give us hope because, first of all, what I expected, you were supposed to give us a brief, background of the problem. Not just to say a drought, time immemorial, and whatever. We must understand what is our deficit. What is our deficit? What is our deficit? And how are we going to cover this deficit? So when you're talking about solar energy, you must be able to give some figures of how much that solar of yours is going to help out. Even those generators which you are putting here and there, you must say, our problem is this big. But if we do this, we'll sort out this. Then we'll sort out this, and we'll remain with this. That is how a president who knows what he's doing, that is how he's supposed to address the nation. Because that way you are giving direction to the people. You tell the people, look where we are coming from. Okay? This is what we have, and this is what we are going to do. That didn't come. That didn't come from the president. It didn't. So, you people expect more trouble in terms of electricity. More trouble in terms of electricity. More trouble. There is no hope. He didn't give us any hope. Hakainde Hichilema, he didn't give us any hope. He only spoke about, what is this? Mamba. 300 megawatts. I mean, that is good. If that is the kind of talk that I would want to hear. That was good that he mentioned to say there is Mamba Corys, which is going to produce 300 megawatts by April next year. And me, I am marking. By April next year, we should see that 300. But something like this, he should be able to say 300 coming from Mamba, then 50 is coming to this, whatever. So our deficit is so much. So by June next year, this is where we will be. We didn't get that from the president. Apa we are talking, we have heard that Kariba has been shut down. Kariba has been shut down. What is the consequence of that? How will the people survive? You are the leader. Everything stops at you. The buck stops at you. You're supposed to give people hope. We didn't get that. We didn't get that. I was really happy when he said that we will talk about, we will start local supply, supplying from the locals. Because when Hakainde Hichilema came into power, they shifted their attention to be working with foreigners. I am glad he's going back to say, no, we want to make sure that we are buying from the locals. Now, Press Singer will be jumping around to say, Hakainde Hichilema is doing this. No, he's not. Because there is already a policy. There is already a policy which Edgar Lungu was emphasizing. Why Edgar Lungu succeeded to keep people afloat financially, it is because of this citizen empowerment. There is already a policy. There is already a policy. So Hakainde Hichilema bringing it up, I mean, it's neither here nor there. But at least I can say he has admitted that he was more dealing with foreigners than the Zambians. And we pray that he will now consider Zambians. And consider Zambians, every Zambian, not just the UPND. Because this is the big problem that we have. For you to be given business, you must be UPND. For you to be paid, some people are being owed money which they supplied to government or which they were due to receive even before UPND came into power. Up to today, they haven't been paid. So it is good that it came out, but it's not something new. It's not something that I can somebody should beat on his chest to say, I'm doing this. No. Other people brought that one up and you messed it up. I can only pray that what he said, he will be coherent to it. He will be able to do it as he himself, promised. I really hope, because there is no money in the economy, and the only way you can put money in the economy is by making sure that you deal with the locals. You give business to Zambians. That is the only way. You talk about PF, but PF bali too corrupt because mwale munendala mama kada bali kwata. The indala bali kwata. It is 20% citizen empowerment. Every project there has to be Zambian. Every project they have to be Zambians. But this government, they came, including medicines. They put the medicines aside. Abuba mkushta kuna Nigeria, ku Egypt, And they're even saying, no, we are eliminating middlemen. We are eliminating middlemen. But no, you are killing Zambians. Pharmaceutical is a big industry. And we have got a lot of people that are supplying medicines. So you can't just cut them away. You need to continue, working with them. So I hope this will work out. I really hope. It was good that it came out, and I hope it will be there. Then he spoke about loans. They are giving loans to whatever through CDF. I don't even know who receives those loans. I don't even know who receives those loans. I don't know. No, we have given about 180. Okay, you have given about 180 million. Who has received that money? And 180 million is not money. It's not much money. It's not much money for the president to be bragging about. No. But the big question is, who is accessing this and what have they done? Because really, we don't see projects as we used to see Muliva PF. We saw more SME ticking in during the PF than what is happening Muliva Hakainde Hichilema. Nonetheless, we hope that SME can be boosted. And he's saying through CDF, I don't know. It is all just whatever. Then came up the issue of PF manifesto now. At one point I was like, is it SATA talking or it's Hakainde Hichilema? Hakainde Hichilema, when he came in, his focus was on growing the economy as a businessman, bringing money, bringing investors. That was his policy. Remember? That was his policy. He was trying to bring in people so that they can come and set up factories. That was the development that Hakainde Hichilema was promising us. All of a sudden, Hakainde Hichilema now has gone. We are doing Lusaka-Chadiza Road. We are doing Lusaka-Chadiza Road. We are going to do whatever. We are going to do so many roads. I'm like, what's happening? This is what I heard from SATA. Because when SATA immediately came in, when PF came in, he spelled out road and the infrastructure development. He spelled out that. And if you go back to the statement here about SATA, first in Tuankane, that is what was more content. This road, from this road to that road, this whatever. That is today, Hakainde Hichilema, and that's what he was bringing out to the Zambian people. Now, if you haven't realized, that is being lost. It's being lost totally. And that's why I'm saying the man should resign. He's lost. Why am I saying he's lost? Because first of all, he had his agenda, he had his vision. The so-called Alese Kabalunga, Tawakwata vision. He had his vision. He should continue on that trajectory of his debt negotiations and investor coming in and money coming in and whatever, opening this, opening that. He should have continued on that. Now he has gone this side. He has picked up, today, Hakainde Hichilema has picked up a PF manifesto and is running it. Now, why do I say he's lost? I say he's lost, first of all, number one, is that there is a shift in policy. There is a shift in policy. If you haven't seen it, me, I've seen it. There is a shift in policy. And now, that shifting in policy, well and good. It's okay. I mean, if it's good for Zambia, why not? My issue is, where is the money? That's my issue. That's my issue. Where is the money? Where is the money? Where is the money? Hakainde Hichilema saying, we're going to do this road, we're going to do this road. Hey, we're going to make 2 runways on the sausage, airport sausage. He was saying, I mean, this infrastructure is useless. They wasted money, they borrowed too much money. Now, Hakainde Hichilema, where is he going to get the money? Even to construct that 2 runways that he's talking about at the Lusaka International Airport, where is he going to get that money? Where is he going to get the money? That is the question. Where is he going to get the money? Or the other thing that you can think of is that Hakainde Hichilema is selling the country. The other thing that you can, because he doesn't have money, he doesn't have money to make those promises. And since he was talking about today, basically we are saying these roads are supposed to be done next year. But this man doesn't have money. He doesn't have money. Now, if he doesn't have money, how is he going to build those roads? How is he going to build those roads? We might see what they have done with Ndola Lusaka Road. Ndola Dual Carriageway, Ndola Lusaka Dual Carriageway. What they have done there, they have gotten our money from NAPSA, they have put it there, and then they have given themselves, because it's Hakainde Hichilema and his friends, they have given themselves 20 years to collect money. So in other words, yes, they have made that road, they are going to make that road, but they will be collecting so much tolls, and that money will be going to them. Maybe, similarly, I'm trying to think that we might see a situation where, you know, they say this company is coming up, they are going to build this runway, and they will take over the entire airport. You might see that. You might see that. Mark my words, you might see that. Already, ama targets they have given. They have given. That is selling the country. Because those targets, those are national assets. But those national assets, they have been given to other people, foreigners for that matter, to run. That is selling a country. When you get tracts and tracts of land, you give to foreigners, they start using it. That is selling a country. We might expect, we might see more of that pattern of selling our country. Because it goes even into the mining sector, which he spoke about. Mark my words. First of all, he was talking about the monies that are coming. The monies that are coming in Mopane. Mopane, we are going to have 1.2 billion. Did he say 1.2 billion? Did he say 1.2 billion? Anyway, one is, I think, 1.2 billion. The other one is 1.5 billion. Yeah. So, where is that money in Mopane? Because you people, you get excited. You get excited. No, the mine has been opened. Hey, Hakainde Hichilema is opening the mines. He's opening the mines. What is happening at Mopane? Has that money come in? And how is it supposed to come in? You are saying the mine is open, and yet those people, they are selling our ore. And then they'll start paying us out of the money that they are collecting from our ore. And you say there is investment that is coming. Same with Vedanta. I'm telling you, KCM is a big trouble there. There is big trouble. Hakainde Hichilema is talking about, no, they are supposed to give, I think they are the ones who are supposed to pay 1.2 billion. Now, they are going to put in that investment. Where is Vedanta going to get the money? Because even the 250, which Hakainde Hichilema was talking about, was borrowed. And they couldn't borrow it from the international market. They had to borrow money using Hakainde Hichilema's influence in Zambia. On the international market, Vedanta has got no good reputation to borrow money they want. So that one is not going anywhere. KCM is not going anywhere because Vedanta doesn't have the money to put in there. Hakainde Hichilema is exciting you with fake promises, with sweet talk, that valeleto lupia valevika mo lupia. Ulo lupia luka fuma kuisa. Bantu ba Vedanta, nendalama valevika mo 250. Shifumine kumbi. Shifumine mungu Kongola. So ngabalenda bakalipira 1.2 billion. Ba Kongola ko 250 million. 950 million dollars. Tabala ileta baka ifunya kui. 250 yaku Kongola. 950 baka ifunya kui. When the reputation of this company is not doing very well. So where will the money come from? And that KCM needs money. You need to pump in money there. You need to pump in money. Mark my words. Hakainde Hichilema was just blowing hot air there. That project is going to be stuck. That project is going to be stuck. But alternatively, what you might see is Hakainde Hichilema getting his friends buying KCM. Buying KCM. And they will buy it cheaply. Because they will say, no, it's Shimai, Shana Shani, Tapani Fichile, they will buy it cheaply. They will buy it cheaply. These things, Mukesanje Bakuntaj. So there are a lot of deals that are currently going on in the mines. I'm not excited. Ilan Kanelwansham, whatever he's talking about, hey, we are going to put in 500 million. Has it come? Has it come? 20 shaft, whatever. Has it come? That money hasn't come yet. We need to see that money in. We need to see that money in. So, my promise, my switch talk. You know about more position, valid developer switch talk. Ngana power. Buying power number, my switch talk. 3 years down the line, my switch talk number 7 years, 8 years. 7, 8 years, you know, nicho happen by soon, my elections realize. But then from there, I will change. Constitution it has got problems. We might not even have elections. We could not have elections. And we could not have elections. Meaning, it is possible we cannot have elections 8 to 9 years. And where is he getting that 8 to 9 years? That specific figure, he mentioned 8 3 times. Then as such, be 9. Where is he getting that figure? And which constitution, which part of the constitution, which clause is he reading? Which is giving him that 8 years that we can stay without elections? Which clause is he reading? Which clause? And those people who are signing whatever. Edgar Lungu shot himself in the foot by signing that constitution. Because it is that constitution that has produced Hakainde Hichilema. That constitution which Edgar Lungu signed actually strengthened the democratic principles of Zambia. It put, for example, the date when elections are supposed to be held. Before, you might not know this, but it was the president who was announcing the date of the elections. But that constitution did away with that to bring in a specific date when elections should be held. You needed your parents and whatever to be Zambian for you to contest as president. That whatever I just said, you have to be Zambian. You have to be Zambian by descent. They are not saying as long as you are Zambian, you qualify. They are not saying, oh, that constitution, I must repeat here, that constitution does not talk about, no, it must be sponsored by a political party. No. As long as you are Zambian and you want to contest as president, you can contest, even if you don't belong to a political party. So, Edgar Lungu doesn't need a party. He can contest an election without a party. He can contest an election. And people will vote for him. But where is Hakainde Hichilema getting this idea that there are lacunas in the constitution which can make us not to have elections for 8 to 9 years? Where is he getting that? Where is he getting that? Does he have a plan? And this is the dictatorship I've been talking about. Because dictators, they want to stay pampando. They want to stay pampando. Nibu dictator. Nibu dictator. Neyami nambo kwanda 9 years. Nibu dictator. And that's why he's threatened even with social media. He doesn't want people to talk. Hakainde Hichilema n'abayipata social media n'abayipata, because on social media that's where we express ourselves. N'abayipata, instead of looking at social media as something positive, like he says, something which is negative, you turn it around, you make it positive, because you can do that on social media as well. On social media you get the feedback. But Hakainde Hichilema goes on social media, he gets the true feedback of how he's ruling, how badly he's ruling the country. He gets that feedback. Instead of taking that, you now go to parliament, you want to come up with a law that will be prosecuting people quickly and for a longer time. That is a wrong way. Hakainde Hichilema, that is a wrong way of dealing with a situation like yours, where you have failed and people are talking, and what you decide is, number one, to think of how you can prolong your stay in power in spite of your failures. Number two, how you can suppress people. Because this is what it translates to. It translates, number one, Hakainde Hichilema idabachila mieba 8-9 years. Nibu dictator work for pampando. It's dictatorship wanting to prolong his stay in power in spite of his failures. Now, he knows that to stay in power with his failures, people will be talking. So the next thing that he goes is to silence people. Let us arrest them and throw them in jail. But Hakainde Hichilema, mark my words, wherever there is oppression, there is revolt. Wherever there is oppression, there is revolt. Believe you me, once you start oppressing people, just know that you have set in motion a revolution. Just know that you have set in motion a revolution. So much as you are thinking that you will go to parliament and come up with a law, an oppressive law that will take away the rights of Zambian people, I can assure you that is the time that you will set a revolution in motion, and it will come. And the revolutions come in different ways. Revolutions come in different ways. Those, that is also, they are calling it revolution. Those are soldiers. But Kumali uko Bukinabe, that is revolution according to them. That is revolution. And even the way you are handling the issue of security, just that, I cannot go in details. You are creating more problems. You are creating more problems for yourself. You have fired Ali Wuzi. You have fired Ali Wuzi. For what? Why have you fired him? He's not my friend. Because sometimes he was behaving as a cadre. That was my problem. Ali Wuzi was behaving as a cadre. Trying to bootlick the president. But you should learn. I told Ali Wuzi, don't bootlick the politicians. Don't bootlick politicians. You are an army officer. You are a commander. Don't bootlick politicians. Where is Ali Wuzi today? I said this when I was at home. When I was at home, and I suspect it is Ali Wuzi who came and jumped that war fence with his people. They wanted to kill me for telling them the truth. Ali Wuzi, you wanted to kill me for telling you the truth. It's the soldiers that came in my house after I had that encounter with Ali Wuzi. But where are you today, Ali Wuzi? And this is what I was telling you, that politicians, they will use you and discard you. And this is a message to all you civil servants. To all you civil servants. Not just those in the military. All you civil servants. I'm telling you, but politicians, they will just use you and throw you. You people who consider yourselves professionals, stay professionals. Don't come into the line of politics, because these politicians, they will just use you and throw you out. Where is Ali Wuzi today? Where is Ali Wuzi? And this issue of bringing people who are retired, you go and bring back. This army commander that you have brought, He was relieved of his duties because of being a political cadre. And this is the guy that you have brought in. Now, let me tell you this. People, these professionals who are politically attuned, they don't see things professionally. They don't see things on their merit, and they make mistakes. In a way, I will be leading as Chilufya Tayali. I will leave jobs for the professionals to the professionals. I will fire anyone who will be political, whether supporting me or against me. I will fire them. Because anyone who is intoxicated or who is politically inclined, they make very bad judgments and they can mislead you. And they can mislead you and mislead the country at the same time. Professionals must be professional. And it was from the many people that I've heard who have worked with him. They commend Ali Wuzi as a very professional, a very good man, a principled man. The only thing for me is the political inclination. But anyway, today he's fired. Which I wish Ali Wuzi had stayed away from these politics. Away from these politics and just remained as a professional as he was. We are having, politicians have destroyed the lives of some of these people. Politicians have destroyed. Look at Vamumba Malila. Look at Vamumba Malila. I hope he's recovering well in South Africa. But look at Vamumba Malila. Vamumba Malila. Vamumba Malila is one of the best judges or persons that we have in the judiciary. He's really brilliant when it comes to the law and everything. But because of his political inclination, now is a subject of our discussion. And even if when he will leave as Chief Justice, he will not be the same. He will not be the same. He will not command the same respect that he commanded before he became a Chief Justice. So these politicians and these appointments that they give us, that they give you professionals, you have to be very careful because they can destroy you. I know a number of people who have been destroyed because they were appointed by politicians. They were good people when they were just working as civil servants. The moment they were appointed, politicians messed them up. And Ibuzi is one a good example. In Twankane, even Wamu Samuel, I can tell you that. Wamu Samuel, of course, Wamu Samuel is more politically aligned. But surely, that appointment messed him up. And he should have jumped the ship the moment he realized that things are not what. But he stayed there until he was fired. Now it is worse. So, Mwema civil servants, be very careful with these politicians. Even if they appoint you, when something is not right, at least defend yourself to say this is not right. And once the best that you should do is to resign. Because if you don't resign, when you are fired, it becomes a problem. You lose out. What are you going to say? They fired you, you didn't resign on your own. So professionals, technocrats, my advice, don't be politically inclined. The moment you start going in politics, why? Stay professional and tell the politicians how things are supposed to be done. If they don't agree with you and you want whatever, you are better off resigning at that moment. You are better off resigning. I know in socially shupa, but you will still be fired anyway. Because once you are used today, at one point they will come and dump you. A good example is Alibuzi. Alibuzi, after he has been dumped. Alibuzi has been dumped. And yet, he served the purpose. At some point, he served the purpose. Now they have brought this one. And this one, from the information that I have, is a political cadre. Is a political cadre. Now we have a army commander political cadre. But for me, I don't even mind. Because the army commander military, it is just a position. It is just a position. Abalwenkondo baichi. Abalwenkondo baichi. Abami commander tabalo akono kulwa, you know. Babutauka, babubala butuka bayegera mu banka. But abalwenkondo baichi. So I'm usually not bothered by these people on top. I'm not usually not bothered. And Hakainde Hichilema, you should not be comfortable that you have the army commander. I mean, you have so many soldiers, so many soldiers. So this comfort that you are trying to buy by bringing in, some friendly forces at that level might not help you. The real challenge that you have, Hakainde Hichilema, is to sort out the things that I'm talking about. Sort out the high commodity prices. Sort it out. I don't know how you're going to do it. And this is why I'm telling you, you might as well just resign. Just resign, because we are not seeing anything going to happen. We are not seeing anything happening. Sort out the issue of energy, fuel and electricity. Sort it out. These things are affecting, including those people that Katushingani Azeye is commanding. It's affecting all of them. Taisala Tiopantumu Soja, whatever, all of them are suffering. All of them are suffering. Sort out the issue of agriculture. Lelo turelandana chilandani lelo ni September. September na iyaka lelo. Pasande ni 15. We are going to be in October. Do we have fertilizer all over the country? Do we have the farming inputs all over? Do we have it? Before you start complaining about, hey, drought. Do we have that? Sort out the issue of, medicines in the hospitals. Sort it out. Let it just not be weird. Use the common suppliers of medicines in Zambia. And don't segregate to say, no, you take PF, you whatever. All Zambians, deal with them. That is how you are going to put money in the pocket, because you need to find a way of putting money in the pockets of the Zambian people. This road construction that you have spoken about, this road, that road, I can assure you, Zambians, come December next year, those roads will not be done. I can assure you. Kuluba Kuliaba Hakainde Hichilema is lost. He's lost. He doesn't know where to touch now. He has lost a plot. He doesn't even know where he started from. He doesn't even know where he is. He's lost. He came in with debt restructuring and IMF money. He's lost. He came in to remove the middlemen so that fuel can be cheap. Instead, fuel is double. He came in with IMF policies, removing subsidies and everything so that farmers can be on their own. We have a hunger situation and high commodity prices. Number of more number, Nakuma school. We are going to build schools. We are going to build hospitals. We are going to employ 4,000 whatever. Let me tell you, you don't create jobs in government. That is not job creation. With the financial stress that you have, you cannot be getting excited to announce, I'm going to employ more, I'm going to employ more, I'm going to employ more. As much as we want the young people to be employed, that is not the excitement that we don't get excited by government, taking more burden when we know there is no money. We want to create jobs outside government so that those people can even pay tax and increase government revenue. Government revenue has shrinked big time. has shrinked big time. ZRA is struggling to meet targets. You don't hear targets popping up like the way they were popping up during the time of Kingsley. Kingsley was always boasting of how much they have collected, how many people he was giving free things, including vehicles. He was boasting of that. We don't hear that now. Because they are struggling. ZRA is struggling. ZRA is struggling. And you are getting excited over nothing. Over petty things. That's what you are getting excited for. Hakainde Hichilema has failed. He has failed. And the best that he can do is to resign. Together with Banalumango. We go for early elections. We can do it. We can do it. That is my presentation on that speech. And I like people to come in and make their point of view. What about you? What did you hear? I've made my presentation. What about you? What did you hear? I would like you to call me at this point in time and tell me what you heard. Maybe you might convince me. Maybe there's something that I missed. Maybe there's something that I missed. I'll be glad to hear what you have to say. Pressing. It's your time. It's your time to talk. Call and tell me what I missed. Me, I'm a Democrat. I'm not a person that wants to shut people down, to shut people up. And you're calling on WhatsApp, by the way. That number you call on WhatsApp. Let Hakainde just resign. Ramda now afiro what? Now afiro. Let him just resign. Tuye kuma elections wangu and we move. Even the issue of the constitution will be sorted out. Hakainde Hichilema will never sort out the issue of the constitution. He will not. How can he be talking about 8, 9 years? Which clause? Which clause is he reading? Hello? Hello?
Hello, good evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
Fine.
Okay, I've been following you and I've followed you very well. I was also looking at what the president was actually giving in the parliament. You know, President Tayali, we are doomed. Not to say nothing. You know, there's no police direction.
Nothing, Dada.
The man is just jumping quite in road with You know, at the end of it, he has nowhere to point at.
Nothing.
Okay. No, I'm very ashamed to be part of this government, to be part of this country because of the president. We have people with brains in our country. We have people with brains in the government. Why should we be led by someone who doesn't understand what exactly is supposed to be done for his country? You know, he boasted of coming with solutions to the problems that we are facing. But what is happening today? You know, we can't even buy bread. If you find bread is 25 kwacha now,
imagine.
28 kwacha. Honestly, where are we going? You know, where are we going? You know, today I passed through Rwanda. You know Rwanda, I found there's a cry by the workers. They can't sell because no one is storing food. So what they are doing is, what people are doing, you just buy relish for 100 kwacha that you are going to consume today and tomorrow. And you cannot be eating the same food every day and then. So now, where are we going? What is the direction that the president is actually showing us? We who are following him, because we need to have a comfort by him, but that comfort is nowhere. near. We will die with this kind of leadership.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
So, for me, we need Edgar Lungu back, whether we like it or not.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Mr. Tayali, evening, sir.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay, no, we love the program that you're doing, Mr. Tayali. Yes, we love the program that you're doing, Mr. Tayali. We can only urge you not to give up.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Not to.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Bwana Chilufya.
Yes, yes, sir. Hello, we can hear you. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Tayali. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
And our president, Chilufya. The number one about the Tavariano Condana Wonder is becoming dangerous. Otherwise, let the people of Zambia be on the lookout. We need to open our eyes. Tefinto. Eva yakatitwarira ngati vambulitire eva if twachitapa vachakubvire twayavikafe vachakubvire mwe vantu natasha mukonkanyepo nokulalandire chalo
Natotera. Hello?
Kana besa chungulu pomkwai.
Emkwai, chungulo pomkwana.
No buno mkwai bachazo mziamba.
Emkwai.
Yo catch me pasana, you know. Ni karibu tuikele mucharada iwamine yo. The speech by this government, it's like they are fooling people, you know. We talk about things that look at the issue of bloodshed. How can you have for 3 days the more water? That's what we expected him to talk. The issues of fuel. The people are affected, you know. People are lining up for water. It's now hot. There is no water. How do you expect people to survive? So I think Mr. Hichilema and his cohorts must understand that this country belongs to the Zambian people. And moreover, he must have by now gotten some money from to borrow money and be put in electricity. They would have imported power. It's not people's doing. It's not the cost about the GDP of the country. Where is the economy? I mean, the world is not making. The saloon is working. The butcheries, the animals are bad. Things are bad. And he goes to parliament, he talks about solar.
Imagine.
Doesn't anybody absorb?
That's fine.
You see, the problem that we have is he's a joker. He's a joker, and his supporters are jokers too, because We are actually on autopilot. There's no leadership in this country. There's no leadership here. The gentleman is the time was, but 2026 is going. It's a must. That is a must as well.
Thank you.
Let me leave other people.
Thank you. Hello? 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 Emka.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Tari.
Good evening.
Yeah, Mr. Tari, Zambia is a Christian nation.
You know, yes, it is.
Now, I was very surprised and I don't know what to do. How can someone celebrate Mwapoka transport ya bishop Mwambok celebrate? So I don't know why I don't know, but I'm not gonna am point. President, the president celebrate Mwapoka transport ya bishop. Where wale gomcho kushunguru kecha. We are in trouble.
Thank you. If you have a bishop, for me, I'm recusing myself. I'm not going to contribute. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Sai, Mapore Dikana.
Yeah, I'm quiet.
Hello?
Hello.
Sai Miakoba Tumunga Tukawa Tetua Muikate. ACH Bamuikata. Filero Lamui.
Social media, social media, you are minefe ngole sapota wa HH. Ngole sapota wa HH ni shuri.
Wa tukalungu tetua Muikate ni Chilufya.
Kuwa mfya social media mwinoko.
Emkwa.
Kanofengo wa susha wa Hakainde Hichilema. If you just criticize wa Hakainde Hichilema, then you are not using social media well. But if you can insult everyone else, his whatever, then you are a good person. What nonsense is that?
Because lungu bamutukana yonse wala mkono ku na exhibit ikitikana yonse batakwa boli imati bamwekatoyo. It's not fair in Zambia. Katuishi mwandini uko tuleya.
That's a very good point that he has made. Hakainde Hichilema is complaining about social media only when it is about him, when people are criticizing him. If they are saying anything bad about other people, it's okay. What kind of justice is that? Hello? Hello?
Hello, good evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening. Hello, yes, sir.
Good evening. Yeah, we are in trouble, my brother. We are really in trouble. What we expected from the president was something at least that was going to give us hope.
Imagine.
And from the look of things, what he was just firing blanks.
No, I thought that maybe since I'm a politician, I'm biased. That's why I've opened these phone lines. Maybe you saw something. Please, I would be happy for you to share something.
I was just firing blanks.
You know what? I laughed after the speech. The journalists, usually they make that kind of analysis. Even the journalists could not have something to say. They didn't. The journalists from NBC. Because usually, I want to listen also. I want to listen. What do others? But I'm telling you, I faced the commentary from the journalists. They failed to really articulate what he has said. They ended up now entertainment. They never chwamu studio na vena. Really, they couldn't say anything.
It's not giving us any hope. It's not giving us any hope.
No policy direction, Ndala. Eh? Don't you just agree that you should go?
As it is.
Should we wait for 2026?
He can't even tell us how they are going to bring down the cost of living. And today, as I'm talking, Mr. Tayali, as I'm talking, where I am right now, there was a meeting over issue of FISIP. The cooperatives are being told that they will be given only in a group of, you find that in a group there are about 40 people. Then they are told that they're only 6 people in a group will benefit.
40 people, and they're only saying 6 people will benefit.
They are saying only 6 people will benefit from the same.
And how much are they? How many bags are they going to be getting?
This side, people usually get 6.
6.
They get 6, yes.
So only 6 people in a group of about 40 people. Only 6 people will get
about 40 people.
About 6 bags each.
Only 6 bags each. And it's today when they were having that meeting. And do we expect to see the situation change next year?
Imagine. Because that's how they messed up the agriculture. If you remember the 2022-2023 farming season, they messed it up. They messed it up with this kind of poor distribution of inputs.
So from the look of things, we are really in trouble, Mr. Tad. We're in trouble. Anyway, let me not waste much of your time. Let's give chance to others to contribute as well.
Thank you. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello, Mr. Chilufya.
Yes, sir.
How are you, Cannabis?
I'm okay, sir.
To tell the truth, Mr. Tayali, if we to but the man was firing blanks. The man was firing blanks. Then, not only that, if you look at him, he was even tired.
Yes.
First and foremost, look at someone.
Munamona fira nga batandatu ati omuntu nga basa kwati alifwa ati ali moneka vina alifwa kuresha pamizo ichinzo chali chapo
mudala nanaka
na sana
mudala rendi natamba no kufita talemeka na bwino mudala. To tell the truth, we were disappointed muli issue yakwa bati I'm liaising with other countries regarding cyber law, the use of social media. Who is he?
At relating with other countries. Who
is he? Who is he? We are in England. We talk at any time. Because of that one talked about, he has got the right. Who is he? No wonder he's talking of 8 years. Zambians.
Imagine.
Alesha is testing the waters. Yes, we are watching him. Mudara nanaka, teshweka lela ndaresa bairafie. Look at, for example, Mr. Tayali. There were people who were, you remember when he was in opposition? People were contributing money from England. How many are they now? Even those people were promised jobs in now. You know, for social media. Contributing 50 pin every month. You remember that list? We shall send it back again. Why are we?
Mule chita contribute ama 50 kwacha nomba mule tumina kuli ine.
Yes, it's true. Because you know, people now they've realized that mudalo unika besha. Uyu mudalo unika ponya. Mule mwana. Thank you very much, Mr. Tayali.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. At Nikavesha. Hello? Hello?
Yes, boss. Ombashan.
Buna waombe.
Aomba fewe.
I'm quiet.
Boss, I don't know. Just some more that kumanya the buru wa president. She.
Narimevere imwe.
Bamdala, abantu bamdala ifitwa chapa weki to aisulaka phone na data yeso adumfwe fala tueva.
Ichalo chile yakuisa.
To achieve about 15. Wonse kusatanduka boss. Takuri ile hope yakwe bati mairo imeka turi ile future limetu wasa kwate takuri. Ninda kwa watu mwana tuna lali mtu mbore umunasho muntari kana panga tarefu mamwibala. Cho washa marafiki sa moneka. Awo uruwa mdala uleta wako sasa wale file kwa mweka. Because chavi papo chavo watu muntu eka tankuli H29 yezi ni share file.
Finish the fire. Finish the fire. Finish the fire. Atimulila.
Ndio yao belengele sana constitution yae.
Atimulila lakune yafuma kuisa iwe. Atulange lakune yo.
Ile ndala imwe bafishe bya constitution mupitemo bwino. Baba page mwasha hapa bala kuna.
Muntu andina chipita mona amba nokufoninga ma lawyers na chira ipusha na timu eni pesa aberengero you. Beberawe. Constitution yali ba very clear. Elections shall be held every 5 years.
PF yabankanye bala berengire muna bena balandeko. Because nchakuti muri 5 6 at least abantu ti ba understand.
No, thank you, my brother.
Mdala to afweni, otherwise unombo to ashwa fyati ubuto abashe mukayofi.
Thank you. Hello?
Nila wasatanda to apoka makatwa chikanda ya coach.
Ati?
Boss mulale bwini.
Tutela. Can you imagine? Natampa. Haifumishe pesa. Where? Hello? Hello?
Chilufya, Ombashan.
Wina, my sister. How are you?
Tule shimpa. Na ikabazona ku Zambia. Bamdala. Ba HH. Awe sho ba HH kwena. Awe mwe bantu bakwarese. Umurumendo takwata nensoni zona. I mean, HH is an example of poor African education. Because 60% of Africans, we normally go to my universities to collect the certificates in the name of any degree. Nombangaba kupela chansi, nombo ubombe. We cannot prove of what we studied. How many PhD doctors that he has been given
you
where
know?
he cannot prove himself? Even and right now I am very, very surprised because even our friends back abroad he cannot use his paper. There is no normal investor who can go to Zambia right now, apart from his friends.
But even his friends, which friends?
Number.
Which friends? He doesn't have. But he has the
friends who helped him to rig in 2021. Those are the friends who are now collecting the money using his name, using his non-candidate opportunity or Zambia. No, but let me tell by HH, because I know that you normally listen this group, this program, you normally listen. Now, my friend, if you are planning to cancel my elections 2026, my friend, when you are a real man, go ahead and cancel the general elections, and the Zambia will be small for you. I am telling you. Zambia will be very, very, very small for you. You will regret to be a Zambian president. This is the only thing I just want to say. I am very, 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 very disappointed. If we are asking by HH, we say, are you a real Zambian or not? Because a normal Zambian, but is now depending on social media, cyber security. Is depending the cadres in the army and whatever. Nobody's gonna help you. A Zambia is the one who's gonna decide. You Zambians, it's the time. Go and get AMA voters cards. Balungo will not help you if you don't have a voter card. Nobody, even Chilufya, will not help you if you don't have voter cards for you to vote. It's you who's supposed to change because you are the one who is suffering. And the HH is not yet done with you. The day that you will be killing your own children to eat, that's when you realize that if you don't paper, not paper. I am telling you, I have done it, and God bless you, Chilufya. Bye for now.
Thank you. Hello? Hello? And the issue of registering for voters is very important. A lot of you, please go and register as voters. I know, they seem to be playing their cards on that one, where in some areas they have intensified it. Hello?
My contribution is this for this evening is like, everyone was anticipating the president to inspire and give Zambians hope. But what he has done, he has just brought more fear. And the fear is he wants to hold on to power. But like the previous caller has said, Zambians are not going to allow that. There's nothing that our president has done. So today he was supposed to give us a program to say, this is where we are coming from, and this is where we are going to go to. But like you were saying, we want to have quite a planning, and all he wants is like to hold on to power. And for what? Why are you holding on to power? What have you given the Zambian people?
Now feel what?
Sometimes let's ask ourselves, why am I holding on to power? Oh, because I've improved the economy. But by HH, what has he done for any? And like on this program, I like what you said. Can anyone, maybe who listen to the speech today, different from us, can they call and tell us where the success story was? But today, this man is a danger to our country, and he needs to go. Thank you, Chilufya.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Chilufya.
Mkwai.
Mwawombele pomkwai.
Mkwai mwawombele naye.
We kwena tuambuse bwino kwena mwe. Kwena program yonda ikonka buno sane lo yemku wakubalira pokutuma.
Natotera.
La byumfafiro nsefu mulanda. Mkwai enda konka buno sana, yonsefu mulkweba mulanda kucharo. Mkwai nomba cho ndefu kulanda kusalasala, ndefu kulanda kuma praise singers. Ama praise singers wa mudala. Wena bafichitike lero parliament bafule basambira ko chintu chimo. Mkwai because bamudala lo bachiva kula ku parliament bachirande fintu no bachiranda filia. Ama praise singers wonse kuya nabo mfuwa. Then na chatikelo kweba ati ngufu yuko na ngumu atume kufoni afika challenge.
Ndifuna ndefwa. Na parongele njero lela.
Ndefwa kutokuba from muntu mwa kweba ati amtoko challenge. Nomba problem ili kweba ati takuliko na ngumo. Mama naka?
Na pashupa pa kuikata. Na pashupa.
Bamdara ndemieba ifinta fidi gura pa Zambia. Ta fidi gura pa Zambia fintu ndemieba bamdara. Elofo ndebe bamdara to kwata ba president west kweta ba. abantu babashunguruka bonse nimbifi tabakwata ekitakulandira bwefintu shikweta amano ndera ndokwebati chalo chonse chiri ngufa mu Zambia bamudala bo bali ngufwa ba president kwera ndeni bo kwebati abantu babishunguruka tapai kora mfimo family fintu fikankara fya kwabati fo munga chire chalo na miona wele style sana fie na miona wele style sana bamudala ndeni yebe chashini abantu bonse babishunguruka bamisupport ama singers bonse bachabe fie na mirufya sana.
Thank you,
Mwana. Kwena kulinga nefu mwaishire 2021 wa mdala mwaishire maka sana eta maka yenu mwaishire na wapapende past fe inono yapone ngefi yapona amdala ndemieba afuwe mefintuna msebana na msebana.
Thank you, my brother.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I hope I'm audible enough.
Very, very
I want
clear.
to shout because I'm close to the OP office here. Yeah, but what I want to say is people of Zambia should wake up. Remove the Bible, remove the church from politics. Don't be so much calm because of your church, because of what? And don't even think that your church will lose in 2026. What I can say is the people of Zambia, like, it's time that we start. I think that's what I can only say. Amen. It's time.
Hello? Hello?
Bossy, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm happy that you're fine, Mr. Tayali.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, my contribution this evening is, I think, in 3 parts. The first one is what the big man was saying, Parliament is totally nothing. There's nothing tangible that I've gotten out of his address. Nothing, completely nothing. The second thing is to encourage you, Mr. Tayali, not to give up. Are you listening, Mr. Tayali?
Yes, I'm listening, my brother.
Do not give up on this fight. If you do, God will not going to be happy with you. Please continue the work that you are doing. There is a reward at the end. God rewards at the end. Then the other point is, the last point is on the opposition party. The contribution to me, the way I look at things. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, on us as an opposition party, I feel there is little which is being done to remove this person out of power. Opposition needs to unite. The contribution of each and every opposition party is of paramount interest to the Zambian people. They need to unite. They don't have to divide. No. That is my contribution, Mr. Tayali. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very precise, straight to the point. Thank you. Hello?
Mr. Tayali Mwawombeni.
Yeah, I'm Mwawombeni.
No, you're live and clear on this forum.
Thank you.
No, you're doing a very recommendable job, of which most of the Zambians are afraid to stand and defend the moral what our forefathers fought for in Zambia. You see, Zambians are living in fear. The president himself cannot be uttering such statements, stating those statements in parliament He's putting the fear in ordinary Zambians. You see, there's no way in which the whole entire president will setting all those things, saying, no, in this constitution there was lacunas. Why saying all those things? Does it mean that the constitutional who started that constitution in the were all wrong? Is he allowed to be interested in that? That's very wrong. May all Zambians stand up and rise and defend the moral on what our forefathers fought for. May the good Lord continue to spearhead this session.
Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. There comes my brother. How are you today?
I'm okay.
Good, my brother. Please, I was waiting for your call.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Just want to tell you that President Church is not going anywhere in 2026.
Okay.
He's even going to win by more votes than what in 2021.
Okay.
I'm saying so because there is no. The work that we are banking on has already crashed. So which opposition to continue?
Me, I was not banking on Uka. Me, I've always been banking on Edgar Lungu. I've never banked on Uka. I bank on Edgar Lungu. And Edgar Lungu is going to contest against Hakainde Hichilema, and you will see you will lose.
What I want to tell you, every time we given a bite, we just have to correct him. We start saying, no, it's not that. Otherwise, the Edgar Lungu can't address that. Whatever even the president that he got, it was just a gotten on the silver.
But you see, my brother.
I know most of those who are supporting you, they will come and start saying nonsense after the finish.
Yes,
Boy, they don't want to hear the truth.
Okay, so now listen with my brother. You and I, we engage here. You are saying, me, I'm saying I'm banking on Edgar Lungu. You are saying no. Edgar Lungu, each time he's given a microphone, he makes mistakes. Yeah. So what is better?
Wait a
minute, my brother. What is better? To continue with the lies of Hakainde Hichilema, or to have Edgar Lungu, who does not speak well, but he delivers? What is better? The sweet talk of Hakainde Hichilema, lies, mythomania of Hakainde Hichilema, or the deliverables of Edgar Lungu? Which one is better?
What lie has HH said?
Eh?
What lies has the President HH said?
So many, my brother. So many.
Yes. Mention it, one or two.
You want me to mention one or two? HH said it very clearly, and with an illustration on a board. He said, PF, they had put middlemen and they were stealing out of fuel. But if I come into power, I'm going to remove middlemen and I'm going to remove corruption, and fuel will be cheaper. I'll be selling fuel at 10 kwacha. At most will be 12 kwacha. By that time, fuel was costing at 17 kwacha. Today, how much is fuel? That is one lie. Do you want me to give you another example?
Yes, I want
that one I've put there. Because I'm talking about only the essentials. Then he also spoke about mealie meal. He spoke about mealie meal. He said, mealie meal, I'm going to sell a bag of mealie meal at 50 kwacha. He said it. And he said 50 kwacha because fertilizer will be cheap. I'll be selling fertilizer at 250 kwacha. I've given you two. I can go on, but just those. Since you said one or two, I've given you those two. You can respond, my brother.
I will go to the fuel. issue actually. It wasn't costing 17 quarters.
Sorry?
You are saying. It was not costing 17 quarters, you are saying. There were some, and those subsidies, they never even paid the rest a lot of debts. No, who is dismantling the debts which they left? So someone is just telling you to say, this is a reality on the ground. You left a debt. Before I reach or before I bring the fuel to where it is supposed to be, that's the thing, it's a fulfillment of a debt. So you cannot reduce it when you have huge debts. You can't reduce it. So you didn't know some of the debts which PSD is sorry at.
Okay, my brother, I'll let the people judge.
Wait, first, let me just finish on the minimum part. On the minimum part, we have a growth. Believe me not, next year, this is a projection that there will be enough rainfall. The other you are talking about will be a single part.
Okay, no, thank you. Thank you. Hello?
Hello, Tayali.
Oh, I'm quite Shan Mai.
We know quite chungulo potata.
I'm quite.
Therefore, I am wafueko. Ubufi batata fiala Hakainde Hichilema babe pechalo. Ushedola 14 hours taira kwana. And he said he's going to rule this country by the rule of law. In a Tatana suspect, in a murder suspect, I was kept in prison because I was mentioned. Until I went through the court process, I was taken out after an only 1 year, 1 month, 5 months, 5 days, and 6 hours. If my son-in-law is ruling by the rule of law, busheba lya jeje alumbuibe. Nishtaba batwalira ku police. Via through the court process as I did. Tata, nga mwalole shobufi bumbi like lero for bachira bepa. How many radio stations have been opened under UPND and TV stations? And when he was saying, bakula konka abantu as long as they do wrong, why haven't those boys who were wanted to circumcise Balungu, why haven't they been arrested? His own SG, who called the Bishop Beswa's Rusfa, why is he moving freely? But Douglas Kalima, abaitira abantu bakulu atibali kwata poverty of the mind. How about those youth who in Southern Province were, threatening people? Why haven't they been arrested? Udiowale tukishanya na why me? Why hasn't he been arrested? And as I conclude, under which law are they compensating those who have come out of jail under a nole? Because there is no law that backs that. That's why I haven't sued. And what criteria are they using? Mwari teta, uwaikele mu prison for over a year, bampela 450. Badi abaikele na batata fiala babapela 6.4. Which law are they using? And how are the negotiations going on? Bamayoba na mukuni abaikele mo 2 weeks bafola more than mwari teta. Nomba Pandechta concludes, I'm a former diplomat. we have all seen Chela Tukuta alalemba pa Facebook yakwe. Ukweba titabalamulipira gratuity. The procedure under the diplomatic service is that when you are recalled, they are supposed to give you 3 months for you to conclude. What crime did Chela Tukuta commit when he was recalled to come back within a week or 2 weeks? Why haven't they paid him his gratuity? So abo bareranda ubufiru nakambi bakatume kalemba obufi bwingi olo inenewa kwatabe eshikulu bandi abali abana babatata fyala avoid said n'abatupele enshito yakwamba okupepera abana bantu ififyenda mu miropa bekapalako obufi and have no apology. Ifwe kumwe sofo balanda kupepa tulipama kufi. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello, yes, boss Batad.
Yes, my brother.
Good. Boss Shachumfako the president of Achilalanda. But I just want to come to contribute on something else. My brother, we love you so much, Tayali, and the Conquer program you're and most of the stuff that you talk about, Fiachin, and that's why I love your program, because if you fall under Fiachin. But I also want to give you a game plan. It's just a friendly advice. Boss,
but wait a minute.
Okay.
Usually
yes,
I am very reluctant to listen to people who want to say, I want to give you advice. Because whatever advice you want to give me, you don't understand my situation. How do you give me advice? Advice, you listen to a person. The person gives you a full understanding of his situation. Then you can give an advice.
Okay.
But what do you know about me?
Yes.
What do you know about me for you to even give me an advice?
Because I listen to your program and I know your situation right now. I understand part of your situation.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear that advice.
An advice, you can take it or leave it.
Let's listen.
My thing is, okay. So my thing is, agenda right? I think this is a wrong agenda. But UPND, of course, they are doing a lot.
Wait a minute. So that one is not an advice for me. That one is your opinion. You cannot advise me on my opinion. That is my opinion.
Okay.
So you give your opinion to say, according to me, this is my opinion. Not an advice to me.
Okay.
It's your opinion.
Okay.
And I'll let you speak about your opinion. You are free.
Okay. Okay, let's call it an opinion.
Your opinion.
Okay, so my opinion. Yes, sir. So my opinion is the agenda, right? I think it's a wrong agenda because, one, and I don't support by UPND of Bachita. I know there's a lot of wrong things if Chitaba UPND. Mama. And if Chitaba UPND, a lot of wrong things. We still want maybe another government to rule us in the next maybe 2-3 years after my elections. We want another person to come in as a president. But the trauma that some of the Zambian people went through, Muribalungu, that will make it very difficult to vote for him. Mama. So maybe my opinion is, and I've said, this is maybe my second time calling about this issue. Maybe my opinion is, why can't we pick another candidate, a new candidate who are quality? People can look at and look at that person. promote, you support that person, and then people can forget about that trauma they went through, PF.
Okay, so
I think that person can be sold to people like no man's business.
Okay, so my brother, because you have given your opinion, I give you my opinion, and you have said, why can't we pick somebody else? I have said this over and over on this program. The first thing is that to pick somebody else, the situation that we are in, we need somebody that has got experience, somebody that will do a touch and go. Somebody that will do a touch and go. At the moment, we don't have that person with experience. The only person that we have with experience is Edgar Chagwalungu. And much as he has got his own weaknesses, which you and I might even share, I strongly believe that he was better than Hakainde Hichilema. That is one. Number two, Edgar Chagwalungu, at the moment, is the only man who is able to contest with the Hakainde Hichilema and have a chance of winning an election. Whoever you might think of, it will be very difficult for you to sell a person. Me, as somebody who has followed politics from the time of Hakainde, I know that in politics, when you enter, you need time to mature. You need time to grow.
Yes.
Many people that have succeeded, they didn't start politics yesterday or the other day and then they reach whatever position. You need to invest yourself in politics. Politics, you have got new wine. The more you are in it, the more you learn politics, the more you have the chances. So at the moment, the new people that we have on the presidential race, I don't think they can succeed. They will struggle. Even Mwanawasa, who was even vice president and was in politics longer, when Chilufya brought him to come and contest against Mazoka, he struggled, if you remember, in 2001.
Yes.
So really, from my point of view, it is that person, it will be very difficult for us to sell that person and win an election against Hakainde Hichilema, in spite of the so many things that are going wrong. So I've answered you on that point to say, why not pick another person? That person will not stand a chance of winning an election against Hakainde Hichilema, even if Edgar Lungu supports him. And an example I've given you is Mwanawasa and Chilufya.
Yes. So you see, my thing is, because of course, HHR kwatama supporters yakwe, Lungu bari kwatama supporters yabo, right? And when you look at Tama supporters yaba Lungu, our UPND and other people, most of the stuff they talk about is what happened in the previous regime. What people went through in the previous regime, and that will make it very difficult for people to vote for Balungu.
I agree with you.
That's why Mbwena kwa Chirimbi. That's why Mbwena kwa Chirimbi. Race ikesaba very easy for HH to win.
It's true that some of the bad things that happened during the time of Balungu, disturbed a lot of people, which made them vote against Edgar Chagwalungu.
Right.
And what better person do we have than the person that learned a lesson that Tukuchtefi Chivi? What better person than the person that actually was booted out for those wrong things that he was doing? This is where I think Edgar Lungu, when he comes back, he will not be the same Edgar Lungu. He will be different. And that message should be gotten by you and myself and many other people. And I can assure you, Edgar Lungu will be different.
Well, we'll see, but,
Thank you, my brother. We can chat some more. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening.
Yes, please. Interesting conversations you've had with the previous caller. I have a question for you. And where we are now, it's very critical on how we respond as Zambians. So my first question to you is, you have just explained to us why you feel the former president is the best candidate to go against the incumbent. In the event, we assume that Edgar Lungu is not or whether he's going as independent. But if he's not running for 2026, who would be your second option?
A very interesting question. A very interesting question, that one. In the event that Edgar Lungu is not contesting, who would be my second option? That I will wait for inspiration from the Holy Spirit at that point, because then it will be open, and even you could be. I might even support you. I might even support myself. I can support anyone. So in that situation, then definitely I'll think of somebody that I will support. But for now, I don't see that situation, because Edgar Lungu qualifies. Even with these court cases that are going on, they are neither here nor there. I see Edgar Lungu being on the ballot. But in the event, at that point, then I will look around to see who will be suitable.
Right. Why I ask, it's because, you see, it's getting very interesting, and it's about time. You and I, we are not young anymore. We both have children, very young children, but then we are also very passionate about our country. And with the happenings, we can see that some of the things are not working out very well. We could be fast in judging. But then again, I would like us to use our expertise and, the experiences that we are seeing. And I hope that in the near future, not very far from now, that you will be, we appreciate this program that you're doing. I feel it's fantastic that we have an opportunity to call in, express ourselves. I would like that you also take the route to, advocate where we can discuss on how we would like to see Zambia. What I see the current leadership is lacking, I think, is underestimating the scope of our challenges that Zambia was experiencing when they took over government. You see, when we get into leadership and we aspire to lead office, to govern over Zambia, the lies, I think, to some extent, it has to stop. But then that lies, Mr. Tayali, can only diminish or stop when majority Zambians realize that they possess the power. And that power is to question. That power is to ask questions, to take our leaders to task, to say enough is enough. Because when we are being led with no direction, when things are no longer making sense, when people start getting angry because they know some little truth, then there's a problem.
Wait a minute.
But imagine majority Zambians.
Wait a minute there. Since you asked me a question, I also want to ask you a question. I'm sure you heard President Hakainde Hichilema talking about social media.
Right.
What is your reaction? What did you say to that kind of talk where he's warning people on social media? What is your take on that one?
What was interesting, thank you very much for that. What was interesting for me actually today when I took, he tried to talk about rule of law and selective justice and that it shouldn't be biased, all this and that. What I'm finding problematic is when we become, when we really cannot stand anything that comes. When we start getting too sensitive over things, then that is a problem. In a democracy, people must express themselves. We have failed, Mr. Tayali, we have failed to define what is what do you call this? There was some time back when they talked about, some people were arrested because they said that it was
hate speech.
Hate speech, right.
They use it, hate speech.
We have failed. We have failed to define, to make it into policy, to define what exactly is hate speech. As long as we have not defined it in black and white, it becomes a problem. Because if it's going to be deepened when I have spoken because I'm against the government and you have spoken because you are with the government, then there's no crime for you and it's a crime for me, then that is a problem. We need, if we are going to persecute anybody based on hate, we call it hate speech, let it be defined. But if we are going to police because we have become very, very insensitive because we don't want people to question. We are failing. That is proper failure. Right now, things are very bad. Things are really, really bad. And it will be wrong for people when they cannot even question, ask questions. Very soon we're getting into an election. Is that the only time we respect Zambians? Why do we take Zambians for granted? Majority people who are voting, they don't even know their rights. It's people you can easily, do you know, people were telling me that in Zambia you can win an election for buying Hungry Lion. How can people be compared to Hungry Lion?
Yeah.
And you are proud that you're a leader? Honestly?
Yeah, thanks very much.
At some point, we need to take a step back and just, try to do something. When we talk of that in Zambia, what is it that we have done? I mean, you have said it. Can we show something that we can be proud of to say, I have done this, and please, I'm asking you, I have good plans, good intentions. Allow me, in a very good way, to at least get another term. Abantu bakuzamba tetwakana.
Thank you.
They'll give you another high five. Thank you very much, Mr. Tayali. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I like the point that she has made. Basically, 2 points which I've taken from there. Number one, people to be able to question. People to be able to question. That is the fundamental right that people have in a democracy. To question, to ask questions. It is very important. And number two, to define hate speech. Is it only hate speech when you talk against the Hakainde, Hichilema and the certain people? But it's not hate speech when it is in support of Hakainde, Hichilema? Hello?
Hello, good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
Yes, I just want to respond to that Kamagai at Mr. Advisor. Yes, that's a guy. The way he's just coming out, one can tell what
you know the best. Listen, my brother. I don't want to fall into the same trap that the previous caller was talking about hate speech. If I stopped him, if I'm stopping other callers to attack me personally and not the issues, I shouldn't also allow it because that guy is whatever. No. So let's not say Bamutuminefi. Mukalamba, so we cannot assume that Bamutuminefi. Mukalamba, and he was speaking his opinion. Let us respect his opinion. But if you don't agree with him, just counter that opinion. Not to say Bamutuminefi. Let's just counter his opinion. His opinion. What is your opinion?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, I think we're looking. Okay. Looking at what we are passing through as Zambians, and these two presidents, President HH and President ECL, both of them, we know which area they are good at. So the coming of 2026, we don't need anyone to assure us. We are able to judge for ourselves. And definitely to those who are doubting ECL, they'll be surprised. Otherwise, for me, from what is on the ground, ECL are able to. Thank you so much and good night, my brother.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Thank you. Indeed. We have different opinions, and this is the richness of democracy. What you think is the way, another person will think, no, this is not the way. And for me, the kind of leadership that I'm espousing for is that kind of leadership. I don't want to come and talk like Hakainde Hichilema, warning people, no, on social media, me, I want people to express themselves. Hello? Hello, yes, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening. I've been asking myself to say, has Facebook put off the speech from Parliament or what? I haven't seen any. The only thing that I've seen is where he was ranting about grabbing the vehicle from the bishop and where he was talking about the rule of law, which you yourself posted. So I just wanted to ask you, was it even lawful for your president to go and start announcing that we have got the vehicle, you see what, which case is actually under the
investigations,
the security wing. Secondly, on the rule, like the lady has said, one thing I always find difficult to believe in actually is he says things that doesn't mean. Or doesn't he know that the same rule of law that he keeps preaching about doesn't even work? He keeps talking things that actually fight himself. So I would appreciate if we can have a discussion later on looking at the full speech that I haven't heard so far, because maybe one of the reasons for explaining it. But all I can say, I don't know where the energies are coming from. These people who are saying HH will continue in 2026. Under what grounds? Let them convince the people. Let them convince the people.
It's magic.
Huh?
They think it's
but
magic.
The only thing that HH the only thing that HH can bounce back is by using the state machinery and rig the elections. Otherwise, if it was like clear, fair playing ground, I don't think they can even score half of what they got last year or in last election. So, and we've seen people commenting, insulting you, doing what, debating a ECL. What is so hating about ECL? If they're so confident that they will win him or he will lose, why should they even worry about it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what is going on? Where we are now meant to be from hand to mouth, kind of living, is actually appalling in this kind of era. We can't buy to stock. And I just want to see how people will react to it. Because for them, the survival is once in a month, they buy it again. So we want to see how the civil service will manage this. Because you can't buy fridges are even unplugged from power. You can't plug it.
Yeah. No, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Chunglopo Mkwai.
Yeah, Mkwai.
Yeah. So now, I want us to respond to the previous caller. Who is telling me HH can win the elections, is just to win elections. The fact is that where is he even going to start from winning the elections? Because the people that run these elections are civil servants. And these civil servants, if you tell me, the MPR has been increased by Bank of Zambia. Civil servants are owing, they go with change He's going to read it from where? Which civil servants are going to allow you to read the election? We are in shit. In Rwanda, in wandering, left in a precarious situation. To the
I thought you didn't understand the English.
With leadership, you don't just start implementing leadership. No, GBM told us as Zambians, he has no plan. KBF on the other day on the podium mentioned that the gentleman has put ill intentions
That's how he left. So I want to assure the Zambians that we are the people that run this country as the citizens of Zambia. We decide who should be president. And no institution. This, I'm very careful. I'm saying no individual, no institution, be the courts of law, the judges, be the army, the police, everyone in this country know that we are run by a group. This country is being run by a group of unscrupulous individuals who are bent on destroying this country. He goes to parliament, he is supposed to talk about it, the poison that they have fed the people. Now we mentioned about these things. I want to assure the Zambian people to take heart that soon, very few minutes, very few months from now, HH and his minions, together with his co-hosts, are going to assure us.
Thank you. So anyway, I think I need to end here. We have had a very good discussion. But I want to thank you, all of you, that have joined in and also participated. I want to let you know that some of you have been saying, please don't stop. On my part, I'm doing what I can. I will not stop. That's why I'm even sacrificing waking up at this point and start talking. But I want to tell you that, you know, Hakainde Hichilema and his government, they are doing everything possible. They are reaching out. They are stretching their hands. They are stretching their hands as far as where I am so that they can stop me from talking. They are very serious about this issue. No, social media, they don't want opposition. I've received even, you know, some, I don't want to say much, but I've received intel of them wanting to stop me. Hakainde Hichilema and his government, they are frantically trying to shut me down, even as I am out here. If anything, actually, I would have stopped talking. But I'm defiling that position because one thing is that I don't insult. I don't defame people. I am not malicious. I am an advocate. I talk about real issues which are affecting the Zambian people. And that's why a lot of you follow me. Because I talk about real issues, including the praise singers themselves. They come to this program and listen. Except that it's difficult for them to call and, you know, challenge us. Because what we talk about, it's real. It's real. So, I don't know if I should say, you know, keep praying for me, because really this battle has just shifted the grounds. I had the battle when I was within the country where they were arresting me and everything. Now the battle is outside. They have been following me. I've been moving from one country to the other, one country to the other, one country to the other. And wherever I go, they follow me. I want to tell you that they are here. They are here. And let's see how things will go. But me stopping talking, I will not stop. If the West comes to the West, mweba bamufyaro mu diaspora mulensungira ko ka matress kunaisa isangati ndelala ko pakitchen pantu nali ko serious Hakainde Hichilema bali no nali ko serious not if nefe mule tonton kanya bali no ndepokelera ma report twice in a week. One thing that you must be consoled is that at least at this point in time, I am recognized as an asylum seeker at this point in time. So, ka issue, kaliko, it's not going to be very easy. It's not going to be very easy for Hakainde Hichilema. I'm recognized as an asylum seeker. Then number two, that the international community, they have changed the tone on Hakainde Hichilema. They have changed the tone. They are looking at Hakainde Hichilema differently. When I left Zambia, and the moment I went into South Africa and contacted some organizations, one particular organization was actually skeptical, about my plea and whatever I was claiming. Just a few days ago, the same person that doubted me was telling me, called me and started asking me questions on the human rights situation in Zambia. This time around, when you stand up to talk about human rights in Zambia, people are listening. So the attitude has changed, and that's why you are seeing that kind of report from the United Nations for Human Rights Commission. It is because the attitude has changed. So Hakainde Hichilema, as much as he may be seemingly trying to, hoodwink the Western countries to say, you see what has happened in other countries, you see what happened in Britain, They know that this man is a clever man who wants to manipulate things. So they are not taking him that seriously. Otherwise, they would have actually given me into their hands. But they have refused to give me up because they have seen that the human rights, the rule of law in Zambia is not being respected. So anyway, I just wanted to say that because tomorrow something might happen and I want you to be in the know. They are trying. But God is with us, and I ask you to continue praying for me and continue giving me the support, because one of the issues that I'm facing really is the issue of support. You saw me selling my properties, dismantling my Kalitu house so that I can sort out whatever. Don't be cheated that Tayali has got money that is, dropping in from wherever. Actually, somehow I like it like this, because when you are sponsored by people, no one can claim to own you, because it is everyone. You are a child of everyone. No one person will claim to say, hey, So I appreciate you people who are giving me support, and you people that, once in a while, I'm grateful for that. Let's continue. For now, I say thank you very much. May God bless you. And tomorrow is Saturday. Or tomorrow, we'll see. Thank you very much. Bye for now.